if you want to change your life, it doesn't have to cost you money. You can do it for free, you can do it very frugally, and here are some ways I have changed my life for the better. It's the end of March, and here are some free and frugal ways that I have helped improve my life greatly already in the first 3 months of the year. So, in case you don't know me, my name is Nandini, and this is Love Powered Up, my little space of powering up our love muscles. So, let's get straight into it. Number one, actually, before I get into the list, you're not going to see me looking at you directly. You're going to see me looking this way because that's where my notes are. I just wanted to let you know in case you're like wondering, why is this person not looking at me? The notes are just here. And I need my notes, otherwise, I waffle on forever. So let me not waffle and get straight to it now. All right, so number one is I have invited more people over to my home for lunch, walks, dinner, and drinks, sometimes games too. I was inspired to do this by my most bestest friend. Unfortunately, we live quite far away from each other, and over the phone, I hear about, like, oh, he went over to a friend's house for lunch or dinner, or, he invited a friend over for lunch and they played some games, and I'm just like, oh, those people are so lucky to be spending so much time with my best friend. And I thought to myself, wait a second, I've got my own place. I know it's rented, but it's still my own place. I can do it. I can actually invite people over who I think are really cool. And then I can cherry pick, baby. I can cherry pick. I can hand pick those interesting individuals I meet. How I meet them is going to come in point number two. So wait for that. But yeah, and so far it's been really great. A little aside is something I've been seeing on Instagram. Some sort of Instagram or very aesthetic content creator was talking about spending so much money on rent. And then on the weekend, they just want to enjoy their home, right? Like, just like savor the space. And I have been doing that, but it's so lovely to actually invite people into the space. Now, this is actually perfectly in alignment with my word of the year. My word for 2025 is community. And I've realized how much it requires me to have my heart open to do this, to invite people over to my home, because I am a recluse. I am a person who like lives in my shell and keeps to my own little space. I am a shellfish. Not selfish, but a shellfish. I'm a turtle. I just, my space, my thing. So I had to, get over some barriers and shift my mindset in order to make my home now a space that I still feel like I'm in an ownership of, I'm in control of, but at the same time allow other people in. So, in order to do this, I bought a few things that made me feel like people would be more comfortable in my home, because my biggest fear was, oh, what if I invite people over and they're just like, don't want to come again. I regret coming because there's something wrong. So that was a big fear in me. So what I did to make my home more comfortable was I bought more pairs of home slippers because the floors are tiled and really cold in the winter. I bought some extra toilet paper. I bought an extra bin. And of course, I would also buy some special food items if I knew that there was something in particular that somebody liked to eat that I was able to make or acquire, right? So basically, my mindset had to change from, I don't need this. I personally wouldn't necessarily use it. I don't need to use this because I'm frugal or whatever else, to actually, it would make me feel more at ease if others were more comfortable. So this one-time purchase of buying like men's size rubber soled shoes or slippers is just like great. Now anyone can come in. I also bought several pairs of, unisex shoes. And only when someone came in did I realize I never considered anyone would have a smaller foot size than me. But the one person I know who does come over regularly with a smaller foot size than me happens to fit one of those shoes perfectly and loves them. So it worked out. Somehow it did. I mean, I don't think I have particularly small feet, but I just didn't even conceive of anyone coming in. That's just it's a trial and error process, isn't it? Let's move on to number two. Number two is I went out. Okay, out. I'm talking about bringing people in, and now it's more of me going out. I'm a little more comfortable with this. As much as I am a shellfish, I do, crawl out of my shell and take the world in. That is something that I loved doing in the past. And so far this year, I have been to a river, an arcade, restaurants, a cinema, other friends' homes, other people's homes, an outdoor picnic, a monastery, a gurdwara, a film festival, a queer festival, a lot of places. Okay, I've been to a lot of places in the last 3 months. And most of the time, the only thing it's really cost me is the amount it takes for me to be transported from my house to the place. That's it. That's it. It doesn't cost very much. The film festival was free. The picnic was free. Just had to bring some of my own food. There's so many things to do, really. And it feels really good. Now, why would I say this improved my life? Because the connections I can make in person always feel much richer and deeper than if I was to meet the same people online in some sort of contained space of a webinar or workshop or something like that. I feel like people actually leave much more lasting, richer impressions on me. And as a result, for some reason, I also feel like I'm much more at ease with leaving that immersive experience, leaving that event, leaving that space, and not feeling this need of like messaging and following up and maintaining the relationship. It feels so much more organic. It feels more like, hey, once in a blue moon, if I'm like, wait a second, I met this person at an art event and there's another one coming up, I don't know who to invite. Wait a second, I met that person, let me just message them. It's it feels less pressury. It feels just so fulfilling, actually, to go somewhere, have an experience, and then come out of it and just let it be. Number three requires me to show you this. I know it's a bit crazy, but the main two colors are blue and yellow. So let me tell you what those represent. Number three is that I moved my body consistently. That's all the gold. Okay, so we have January, February, it's nearly the end of March. I've got a few more of these to fill. I literally did not miss a single day in February, not one. I have missed a few days in March, but I gave myself grace, and I'm going to talk about that in the list. It's in the list, okay? Bonus, if you are not a person who tracks your habits, I strongly suggest you do. It's something I've been doing for a very long time, but if you want to build habits, how would you even know that you're actually building the habit if you don't track them? So this is my habit tracker. And number four is one of my goals for the year was to write. And I started doing morning pages, which is from Julia Cameron's Artist's Way thing process, right? I haven't read that book yet, but I'm reading this. That's also coming up in the list. But yeah, I started doing morning pages very consistently for about 10 days, and then I lost my streak. And these days I've been doing evening pages, and I've found that I'm able to rest so much better once I've just like journaled out every thought that I felt like I needed to express or stop holding inside this space. Either journaling it out or making a to-do list or sending that message or whatever it is, drafting that email or whatever, just at night, just letting it all go, like just it's felt really good. So those are number three, movement, working out. I just started stretching. It's my third day of stretching, and I think my life is about to change. So I've also been varying the movement, from just walking to working out, doing a little bit of weight lifting. I wouldn't say weight training. Maybe weight training is probably better. I don't even know. And now stretching. So that's really good. And of course, number four, journaling. It's helped me with the most is sleeping. What currently I'm not doing and I'm certainly avoiding is deeper introspection. But I'll get there. I'll get there. I will be there. I need to stop hiding from myself. So I'm gonna get there. Let's move on to number five. And that is that I have joined a new book club. I talk about my original OG book club a lot, and in that we are reading this book. It's called The Art of Showing Up. It's a book club that where we only read self-help books and books on childhood psychology and stuff sometimes. I've read that much. I have that much left. So I think I have two chapters left. So far, this book is the elder sibling I wish I had had, especially an elder sister. Rachel Wilkerson Miller knows about adulting deep, like deep adulting. So, thank you to this book. The new book club I'm in, we're going through this book, Seeking Wisdom, and if I was not in a book club, I would not read this book because it's very religious-y. Well, it's actually not. It's very spiritual, obviously. Yeah, it literally says a spiritual path to creative connection by Julia Cameron. This is the same author who wrote The Artist's Way. Um, the best-selling author of The Artist's Way. I feel like I'm just repeating what's on the cover here. Do I need to? Yeah, I think the camera's fine. But anyway, it's been really enriching to meet up about 1.5 weeks to go over each chapter. It's a thin book, but we're doing it sort of as a practice, as a reminder. And I like to go through books with this sort of systematic, consistent accountability. Because, like, for a lot of people, a book this thin, you could finish it in a day, but what use is that? If you want to change your life, you've got to implement what you're reading. You've got to implement what you've come across or been inspired by or learned through either social media video, YouTube, whatever it is, right? So community helps. And if you want to join a community, check out the description of this video. I hold a space right now on WhatsApp, but we are definitely leveling up next month, and we're going to have more community-based, adulting-oriented, weekly sort of meetups. And I'm very, very excited to facilitate such spaces. So feel free to just join in and check it out. There's no obligation whatsoever. Currently, the space is called the Empowered Transformation Tribe because I am a certified life coach, and I focus on mindset training. So that's that. Let's move on to the next one. Ooh, okay. Number six. Number six. I let go of a relationship which had not been serving me. And this was a big one, a huge one. I actually broke a very, very long term friendship. And it was so hard to do until I shifted my mindset. Talking about being a mindset coach. Yeah, I had to shift my mindset. So, number six, like breaking this friendship, this is probably the thing that has changed me the most. Or I could flip it and also say it took a lot of changes in me to get to a place where I could break this relationship, where I could end it, bring it to a close. A break sounds very like, like very sudden, and it wasn't. It was a long time coming for me anyway. It may have seemed sudden to them because I was a people pleaser. I was hiding. I didn't know how to, I had set boundaries over years, and we kept circling back. And in the end, I had to end it. Every person I've told that, in my real life that I did this, they've just been like, how though? How? Tell me how. So I feel like this is something that perhaps a lot of people want to do because, we get a sense of who do we feel comfortable around? Who do we feel understood by? Who do we like to talk to? And sometimes there are people in our spheres that, they just aren't the right match. So, if that is something you're interested in learning more about, like how to bring those relationships to a close, how to have that certainty, how to go through the internal emotions, I let go. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm now at a place where I can definitely help you do that. Um, my relationships currently are awesome, flawless. Okay. Because of course I work on them, not because like they're just magically flawless. But anyway, here we go. Number 7. And this is the last one I'm going to be sharing. And it's the most intangible one, but aside from the previous one, this is the one that's made the biggest difference to me. And that is that I have started to accept myself. I have started to accept myself as I am, as opposed to spending all of my brain energy on how I should be, being so concerned about how I should be. And trust me, this is something I am very, very new to. It is something I'm practicing. It's something I'm still in the stage of constantly having to be mindful of. Like, oh, wait a second. Are you overthinking this? Are you setting unrealistic expectations here, Nandini? Like, you're not accepting. You're not accepting, right? So, um, it is a practice, but it's giving me a lot of relief to just hold the emotions that I'm going through, the feelings that I have, the needs that I have. And I'm going to give you two examples just to make this a little more tangible. So, back in February, I was so burnt out after having an extremely hectic January. And after January, I just felt stuck. You know, at first I was like, okay, okay, okay. Yes, you need to sleep because you haven't slept because there was just so much to do. But then, like, after the whole sleeping thing, I could go into detail, but all you really need to know was I was in a slump. And I just felt like my mood was down, my activity was low for about 8 full days. And at every moment of those 8 days, I was just like, no, Nandini, you've got to get up. You've got to like do something. You're finally free. It's not January anymore with like a zillion things on your plate. You can do what you have been wanting to do right now, and it's just like do it, do it, do it, do it. And I was just not feeling good. I was just not feeling good because I was processing the emotions that ended up resulting in me ending that friendship. Okay, so that's what I was like. That's what was bubbling underneath, and I remember this one time I was in bed, I was cold, and I had my face in my pillow, right? And I was just like holding myself like this. I was like a little bug. I was just a bug wrapped up in blankets, like barely even able to breathe because my face was in the pillow. And for days and days, my brain was just like, what can I do? What can I do to like make you get up? Like, what can I do um, to make you feel better? Just like feel better, just feel better. And I asked myself, actually, hold on a second. What do you want, Nandini? What do you want right now in this moment? Forget what I think you need to do, but what do you want? And it was so simple. I heard myself just say, I just I just want it to be okay that I feel bad. And all of a sudden, it's like my brain decided to stop buzzing. And just hearing myself say that all I wanted was to stop trying to improve the situation. At that moment, I held myself and I was holding myself the whole time. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, then. All I really needed was to see that I was not in a good place. I was not feeling good, accept it, and to allow it to be. And so I stopped, like instantaneously, I stopped trying to make it feel better. And boom, I kid you not, that night I slept. When I woke up, I felt 50% better, like 50% back to like normal, awesome, energetic. And the following day, I was back to 100. After days of resisting, after days of me trying to figure it out, after days of me guilting myself for being like, well, you say you're a mind coach, my mindset coach, and a life coach, Nandini. Well, you can't get out of the slump, and you have all of these guides and these coaches, and you're not reaching out, and you are reaching out, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, whoa, 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 just stop. Just hold the space. It worked like magic, just like accepting that all I needed was just to be allowed to feel how I was feeling without guilt, without this pesky, little insect telling me it's not okay to feel this way, that it's important to always feel good. That was no good. Okay. I know that was a long example, but I will give you another one that actually has come to me through this book. One of the most profound insights I've gained from this book is that you are allowed to pee, okay? You're allowed to pee. I didn't know that I wasn't the only one who always had anxiety around needing to pee when I went out, who always needed to make sure I was extremely dehydrated when I went out. And I always carry water with me because I make sure I don't drink for like 3 hours before I go out, and sometimes the full night. Like if I have to go out in the morning, the last drink I would have had would be hours before I went to sleep, and I would not drink a single sip or not even a drop of water after waking up and actually going out somewhere because of bathroom. Like I just would have to have access to a bathroom, and I always do use bathrooms in public spaces and stuff. But this book said, go pee. When you need to pee, you gotta go pee, even if like that means you miss a scene in the film. Like just if you need to go, you gotta go. Um, if your body is saying you gotta go, you gotta go. Like don't hold it in. It's not good for you. And also the anxiety around it is no good. So ever since like I was given permission to do that by Rachel Wick will well, why do I mess up so bad? Um, Rachel Wilkerson Miller. Um, I have yeah, pretty much been doing it. Okay, that doesn't sound right. What I mean by doing it is I've been allowing myself to use the loo as often as I need to. And I've been manifesting the cleanest bathrooms. It's phenomenal. Like the moment I gave myself permission, once again, just accepting that my body is a body that needs to leak out liquid quite often, especially if I'm drinking liquid, it's got to come out pretty soon after I drink. It's like a one for one scenario ratio. Um, yeah, it's great. It's great. It feels good to accept that that's what my body does, and so I gotta allow it. I could actually come up with many, many more of these. Um, but I will leave it here. This weekend, on the 30th of March, Sunday, I'm having an event online called, the 2025 Checkpoint, where we get to look back at the last 3 months. And I would urge you to do this, regardless of, whether you can come to the event or not, if I post this in time or not. I urge you to just take a look at the last 3 months and just focus on what do you feel good about? What do you feel happy about occurring on its own, or you doing on your own, or someone else doing for you, okay? Everything is a co-creative process, right? It's not just like, I did this, I feel good about this. No, it's even just the things that came into your life, whatever happened, whatever you bought, whatever, everything and anything. Think about, mindfully write down the things that felt good, that felt inspiring, that felt like, you know what? This is what life's about. This is what I want my life to be about. Write them down and see if you can focus your intention and those three key things we all have, which is time, energy, attention, right? See how you can bring more such things or more of those particular things into your life in the next quarter. And when you do that, or right now as I'm speaking and something comes to your mind, I would absolutely love to know what that is. So please do, if you feel like it, if you feel comfortable sharing, which I hope you do, share it in the comments below. If you've come to this point of the video, I would love to know what is something that you just loved in the last 3 months and that you want more of in the next 3 months. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.